Hello and welcome to the Friday session of our weekly plan. Today's session is going to work quite differently. Instead of working towards a timer, as we have been, we'll be working towards reps and sets. So we'll be doing 6 different exercises. They're going to work as, again, we're going to split it for beginner, intermediate, advanced. The way it's going to be different, as opposed to working at different times, we're going to work to different reps. So there's going to be 4 different stages, so it's 4 different sets. The first set is going to be of 10 reps of each of the exercises. We're going to go from one exercise straight onto the next, onto the next, onto the next, with no rest in between. Then you're going to rest after you've done all 6 exercises, and you're going to rest for a minute then. You're then going to work another set, which is going to be 20 reps of each of the exercises, again with no breaks in between, and then you're going to rest for a minute after that. That is the beginner set, that is 30 reps of each exercise, that's the challenge. If you're doing the intermediate, you'll go on to another set after that, which is 30 reps of each exercise, again in the same format. However, you will then have ended up doing 60 reps of each exercise, which is a solid number. And if you are doing the advanced set, you will be going on to do one more round, which is of 40 reps, which is a proper tough one. Believe me, I've tried it, and that is 100 reps of each exercise. So well done if you're able to get onto that. I will not work along with you on this one because everyone works along at their own pace when it comes to reps and sets, so therefore it makes no sense of me trying to gauge a time limit on top of it. So it's for you to work along. I will show you the different exercises and a couple of variants of it. I'll then put a screen up at the end, and that screen will be able to be paused so you know which exercise is when, and be able to follow along with this little plan. Okay, so we'll get into a warm-up first. So you guys can work along with a warm-up. I'll show you how to do the exercises, and then we'll get you guys can pause the screen, know which ones you're working on, and get underway with it. And comment below where you get to. Did you enjoy it? Did you like the different variant of it, or would you prefer me to work along with you when we do it? Because I did try a video where we were working along. I just felt like it was getting a bit long-winded, and people might have been doing their reps quicker than me, so they might be finished, or they might have been doing it slower than me, so they might not have got to the time limit. So I just felt it didn't really work out if I was going to do it like that. So that's the reason why I haven't done a work along video. Okay, so let's get into some stretches. First one's going to be pull your quad up, and we're going to stretch our quadricep muscle. So we're going to hold that for about 10 seconds. As you may have noticed, I brought a chair along with me. The reason I brought the chair along is it could be useful for some of the exercises. You don't need the chair. I'll show you the variants where you don't have to use the chair, but for some of the exercises I would preferably prefer to use it. So it's a good little tool that you can use for some of the exercises, and it makes them either a bit tougher, or for some it might make them a little bit easier as well. Next one, we're going to stretch out our hamstrings. So put one leg out in front, extend out, and we'll just stretch into our hamstrings. And then we're going to change and do it onto our groin on that same leg. And then on that same leg again, we're just going to stretch out our hip flexor, so put one leg out in front. And we're going to change legs, so we're going to start on the hamstring. Into the groin stretch. And then into our hip flexor. Okay, next one we're going to do is for our calf muscle. So we're going to push ourselves up and push down our calf so our heel is ended up touching the floor. You should feel it in your lower leg, the back of your lower leg. And we're going to swap sides. And we're going to stand up. Next one we're going to do, we're going to stretch out our backs. We're just going to twist side to side. And then we're going to stretch up. You can even stretch up onto your tiptoes if you like. And stretch down to the ground. Try and touch the floor. And up to the ceiling. And down to the floor. Okay, next one we're going to stretch out our shoulder, so we're just going to pull our shoulder across, pull our arm across. You should feel it stretching in here. And we're going to change sides. Okay, grab yourself a quick drink. Now I'm going to show you the different ways that we can do the exercises. So, first exercise is going to be a calf raise. Working on the back of our legs, these muscles here. You can either do it as follows, so you can do it with 2 feet on the ground, raising up and down. So up, onto your tiptoes and down. It needs to be nice, slow and controlled. So we're working our muscle for a bit longer. You want to hold it for a second at the top, so you're working on your balance as well. The way to make this tougher, you can do it on one leg. So you raise yourself up, down, and then work onto the other leg. If you're doing that, just split the reps in half. So you're doing half the reps on one side, half the reps on the other. Otherwise you will burn yourself out if you're trying to do the advanced sets. So either on 2 legs or 1 leg, whichever's up to you. Maybe one week you want to do it on 2, maybe the next leg you want to do it on 1 leg. So the next exercise is going to be tricep dips. So I'll show you this one with the chair first. So we can use the chair to do our tricep dips. We'll point our hands towards our feet. Our feet are going to extend out. And we're going to be in a solid position where our body is almost just flat. What's going to happen, we don't want to dip our hips. We want to be working using our arms. So we're going to drop ourselves down using our arms and lower our body to the ground and come up. Okay, so I'm not working myself using my hips to drop myself down. I'm using my arms to bring myself down. Okay, we can also do this one on the floor. So if you haven't got a chair to use, you can also do it on the floor, which is a little bit easier as you're not coming down this far. So you can push yourself down and up, down and up. So when you've got the chair, it's a little bit harder because you've got a little bit more room to go, so you get a lot more range of motion through the muscle. So you'll be going down a bit further. The next exercise is going to be squats. So for the squat, you want to come down nice and slowly into a position of 90 degrees and come up again. You want to try and squeeze your legs and squeeze your bum when you're coming up. So try and push in so you can really feel it working in your muscles. We want to try and work this slowly so you're keeping your muscles under tension for as long as possible. You can also use the chair for this one, which I've recommended to my parents who don't come down low enough. The chair acts as a sort of barrier and tells you when to come down. So we're not coming down fully to sit on it. We just want to be able to touch our bum on the bottom of it and then come up. So it gives you a good guidance how far you can get down. And it also can relieve a bit of pressure in terms of you don't want to get down too far, etc. It is able to give you a bit of a gauge and also can relieve some of the pressure off your muscles when you get down into that area. So the next one is shoulder press up. I'll show you how to do this on the chair first. So you'll put your knees onto the chair. Your arms will come about shoulder width apart. And then you're going to come down, but instead of coming in front like that, which would be a normal press up, we're going to push ourselves down and I'm going to work so our head is coming in between our hands. You want to just touch your head onto the ground gradually and then push yourself back up. You can also do this one without the chair. So you can do this where you come into a position like this, so you're coming into a high plank position and you can push yourself down. I personally prefer to use the chair as it takes a bit of the stress away from stretching my hamstrings when we're doing that, but it's perfectly up to you. Next one is a glute bridge, so it's working on your bum muscles. So you're going to get yourself into a position on the floor like such. You're going to raise your hips and lower them. But again, nice and slowly. When you get to the top, hold it for about a second and almost try and push your hips a bit further than where they could go. At which point you'll be using your glute muscles to squeeze a little bit further and push you up a little bit more. So you'll get a bit more rep range out of the muscle. You can also do this using the chair. You can rest your legs on the chair, like so. Should come up a little bit further. It's a little bit more difficult, so whichever one you prefer, perfectly up to you. And the final one is going to be Superman plank. So you can either do the easier version, which is on the floor like this, where you're on all fours and it's going to be your opposite arm, opposite leg coming up. So you want to come just to a point where they're just above the line of your body, and it can be done like that. To make it a bit more difficult, come into a high plank position, and again the same principle of opposite arm, opposite leg. It's a lot more difficult. This one works your core a little bit better, and it's difficult for balance as well. So whichever ones you prefer, up to you. I'm going to leave them in order, said as a list of which ones to do. So remember, beginner, one set of 10, then a set of 20. The intermediate is going to be the beginner set plus an intermediate set of 30. The advanced is a set of 40 on top of that. So let me know how it goes. Comment where you get to, how many reps you're able to do on each one. And yeah, enjoy guys. Let me know if you prefer me to do this as a work along video. I can put it up as a work along video for next week if you prefer. I was just trying to play around with different way of doing things. And as I say, it's different timings for everyone on this one. So yeah, good luck with it. Let me know how it goes. Thank you.